Today, we're going to be playing The Winter Wedding. It was developed by Devil in Love Games. This winter is unlike any other. There are only 10 days left until your wedding. Your life is about to change forever. You can already feel the shift as extraordinary events refuse to leave you in peace while the tensions rise. Walking the fine line between reality and illusion, you find yourself surrounded by darkness and sinister secrets. Can you survive your wedding? Will you escape this labyrinth and find true love? So, yeah, this is an OMEGAVERSE game. What initially drew me to it is you can play as either a male or female protagonist. Here they are. You could be Liliana, Lillian, or Lyndon. I guess it's determined by which pronouns you choose, which I think is really cool. We are definitely going to play as the guy. If you gives me an option to make it BL, I'm going to make it BL. I am always going to make it BL. The protagonist of the game, name changeable. You are the only child of a noble family and an Omega. After losing your family, you were never able to fully recover. But as your wedding day approaches, nothing is going as you expected. All right, so the love interests are your butler, Tristian. He is authoritative, cold, and composed. In the 5 years you've known him, you've never seen another side of him. But that's about to change. Behind the flawless order he maintains in the manor lies unexpected mysteries. Ooh, kinky. He's got silver, long hair, and I'm not usually into it, but I do like a really attractive butler. Like, it does things to me. But who cares about the butler when we have this devilishly fine looking redhead right here? Look at this man. My fiancé, Oscar. I don't like the name, but it's fine. I can live with this. Carefree, sarcastic, and an alpha. Despite living in neighboring mansions and sharing the same social circle, your marriage decision was a surprise to both of you. Now, with only days left until the wedding, you're more ready than ever to question that decision. Bro, dreams do come true. I'm gonna have so much fun trying to get this man. There are some content warnings for those of you who are worried about those. Death, non-graphic, depictions of blood and serious injury, mentions of animal hunting, use of non-consensual drugs, MC experience severe hallucinations and grieving the loss of family, unhealthy relationship dynamics, which are kind of a staple for OMEGAVERSE, so I don't even know why it's a warning at this point. All right, let's do it. Let's start The Winter Wedding. Which body will you play with? That's crazy. The left body, the right body. The right body? Question mark? It's such a wild way to phrase that. I'm gonna play with the right body. Which pronouns do you use? We're gonna go with he, him, because like I said, we're making this a BL. Lyndon? Lyndon. Like the chocolate? "10 days left until your wedding." Okay. There it is. Winter. Not exactly your favorite season, mine either. Though you've always found it soothing to watch snowflakes slowly fall and evaporate against the warmed glass of the window. You were never one of those children eager to rush outside for snowball fights or to build snowmen. So when your nanny said your overprotective parents wouldn't allow it because of your frail health, you didn't feel particularly disappointed. Now, there's no one left to enforce such rules. Oh. And that's one of the reasons winter is so sorrowful for you. You bring up a very good point. So no, not all OMEGAVERSE is BL, but BL can be OMEGAVERSE. There is a lot of het OMEGAVERSE, which I have questions about, but I won't get into it here. If you're not familiar with OMEGAVERSE, let's go over it real quick. So OMEGAVERSE is a subgenre of romance media in which people have secondary gender/sex characteristics outside of male, female, non-binary, etc. And they are Omega, Beta, and Alpha. Omegas are able to get pregnant regardless of their gender. So if they are a woman or a man, they can have children. So in OMEGAVERSE world, Men can have children if they're omegas because they have reproductive organs. I'm not going into detail on that because that would take a long time. Betas are like normal folks. They function the same way as normal people do. Some stories will have beta men be able to have babies as well, but generally speaking, beta men they function the same way that men do. They don't have babies. And then there are alphas. Alphas are usually the more dominant ones. They are the tops. They are the ones who can get people pregnant. Again, regardless of gender. Love is an Illusion, the queen, it has a very good example of a female alpha who has a really, really, really big dick. And yes, she can get somebody pregnant because she gets her male omega lover pregnant. Crazy to see. But I know it's blasphemy to bring it up, but I needed an example, okay? I needed an example. So again, alphas go through what are called ruts. Omegas go through heat cycles, which makes them more impregnatable. I don't know, more fertile. I don't know why I couldn't think of a word. And usually when an alpha's rut and an omega's heat cycles sync up, they have a higher chance of the omega getting pregnant. There's also things like knotting, in which the alpha's schlong will engorge itself so that it can ensure that the omega is appropriately inseminated. I'm trying to think of the appropriate ways to say this, and it's very, very hard. But yeah, like the main point is omega men can get pregnant. Alpha women can impregnate omegas. And, also, ideally within this universe, alphas and omegas will bond when they mate. Bonding usually involves biting the scent glands where the pheromones come out. Yes, that's it. That's what I'm forgetting. Omegas give off pheromones that will attract an alpha. Alphas also give off pheromones that will attract omegas, and also can be used to subdue omegas and betas to some extent. In some stories, betas are not aware of pheromones, so they aren't affected by omega's heats or alpha's ruts or alpha pheromones in general. And like I said, alphas will bond with their omega mate by biting the scent gland, which is a permanent mark. How the logistics of that vary from story to story and writer to writer, so I'm not going to go into detail on that. Not every story has bond marking, which I don't understand why they don't, but go off. I prefer having a bond mark, but again, it's up to the writer to do what they want to do. Generally speaking, when a bond is formed between an alpha and an omega, it's for life-fu, and the only way to sever a bond is if one or both of them die. In some stories, if you bond with someone, y'all both gonna die about the same time because reasons. And what else? Some stories also take it a bit deeper, and they have like recessive and dominant alphas and omegas, which determines the level of like pheromones and fertility and shit like that. But again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for this right now. Nesting is also something that omegas will do. It's a safe space for them. They'll collect scent-heavy items from their partner, and they will include it in their nest. Clothes, shoes, dish rags, the alpha themselves, whatever. So there's that. There's also scent marking, in which an alpha will rub their pheromones on their omega as a way of claiming them so that other people know to stay the fuck away. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If the person who's trying to steal your omega away is a beta, then it's useless, but do you. Have fun. And what else am I forgetting? Yeah, that's OMEGAVERSE 101. I should have done this earlier, but I just completely went over my head. I just assumed everybody knew what OMEGAVERSE was, and I should not have assumed. But yeah, that's OMEGAVERSE in a nutshell. I know it's a lot, but if something comes up, I'll just explain it. I'm also curious about this game because they don't say what the butlers gender is. So I don't know if the butler is an alpha or a beta. I'm guessing that the butler is a beta. I'm guessing, because otherwise I feel like they would have said. But if they're not, and they are an alpha, that will be an interesting thing to see, especially with the class difference. What if he's a secret alpha? Yeah, like, I'm curious to see if that's what's going on, but I don't know. We'll see. Thank you, Black Honey. I'm glad you think I did a good job explaining Omegaverse poorly. All right. So now back to the game. And that's one of the reasons winter is so sorrowful for you. Your father was never much interested in winter sports, but you know he couldn't resist your mother's persistence. That persistence ultimately cost them their lives when the ice on the frozen lake suddenly gave way beneath them while they skated. Holy shit. Okay, I shouldn't laugh, because it's so horrible. I'm so sad. His parents died horribly. But this was also a plot point in Pearl Boy, not an Omegaverse, but it is a BL. And at the end, the two main characters were on this like frozen lake, and then it collapsed under them, and like they're just drowning. And that's how the story ended before the author gave us the side stories. So we didn't even know if they had made it or not. It's just like, what the fuck? Look, I saw Rise of the Guardians. That's what happened to Jack Frost. He fell through the ice and died. I'm good, thank you. By the time they were pulled from the water, it was too late for anything to be done. That's unfortunate. As you touch their gravestones, even through your gloves, you can feel the freezing cold of the marble. It's already been 5 years since you lost them. Mother, father, I miss you so much. So cute. All that black too. It's like black satin. So shiny. If only there were a way to stop that accident, to turn back time. There isn't. But that's impossible. Anyway, I brought you some beautiful flowers. Where did you get flowers in winter? Ah, they're lilies. You carefully place the white lilies on the grave, speckled here and there with patches of snow. The harsh snowflakes sting your face, threatening to bury the flowers completely under the white blanket before long. Feeling the need to leave soon, you cast one last glance at the graves. Whoa! Why is it bloody? Oh no. Absolutely not. What the hell? Your heartbeat quickens and your breath forms a white mist that clouds your vision. Even so, the red is so intense that it overwhelms you. Your head spinning, your knees buckling. Just as you're about to collapse, a strong arm catches you by the shoulder. Yes! Who is it? Turning your gaze, you find Tristian standing beside you. Who's Tristian? It's our butler. Oh my god. Sexy butler. Yo! Damn. Okay, butler, come close. His attentive eyes shift between you and the grave, as though trying to discern the source of your distress. There's no trace of alarm or confusion in his demeanor. Frantically, you glance back at the grave. The lilies are as white as when you left them. No trace of the blood remains. Are you all right, my lord? Is something the matter? Damn. I don't usually like them when they got like long hair like this, but Tristian can get it. I'm fine, Tristian. Just a little dizzy is all. So then, a fleeting hallucination? You can't exactly say it's the first time. It's not the first time. You've never fully recovered since losing your family. You must have been affected by the cold, I guess? For a moment, you can't help but feel uneasy as the way his gaze sharpens, as if he's aware of what you're thinking. Now is certainly not the time to meet with another new doctor who promises to cure you with their sedatives. Thankfully, the familiar steadiness in his voice soon puts you at ease. Shall we head back to the carriage, my lord? Please, hold on to me tightly. Absolutely, I will never let go. With Tristian's help, you make your way out of the eerily silent cemetery and to the carriage waiting for you. We're returning to the manor. The roads may be icy. Drive carefully. The coachman nods quickly and takes his seat. Everyone seems eager to leave this place. Everyone except you. Okay. Your attention is momentarily distracted by the stark white of the gloves covering Tristan's outstretched hand as he helps you step into the carriage. White lilies were your mother's favorite. You recall how she'd always pick the most beautiful one from every bouquet and tuck it into your hair with a smile. Aww! But after that hallucination, perhaps it's best to choose different flowers for your wedding bouquet. Yeah? You don't want to falter at the altar and embarrass yourself in front of everyone. The rhyming. My lord, if you could hurry. I think I dropped my handkerchief at the grave. Feigning a flustered expression, you press your hand against your bag. The handkerchief is right there. If we leave a message with the caretaker, it should reach the manor within a few days. Oh, but it was a gift from Oscar. Yes, a gift from Oscar, our fiancé. You notice a momentary pause in Tristan's expression, unaccustomed as he is to hearing you mention your fiancé's name so openly. Somebody's jealous. I'll fetch it immediately, my lord. Please, wait in the car. No, let's go together. I'd like to see my parents one last time. Oscar's gift is important to me. Oscar's gift is important to me? Question mark. For a fleeting moment, his eyes seem to darken. Ooh! Tristian does not like Oscar. I think Tristian is an alpha now. Now that I've spent time with him, he's giving second lead energy. But it's gone almost as soon as it appears. Based on the impression you've gathered during Oscar's rare visits to the mansion, you are aware of the obvious tension between your butler and your fiancé. That's why this sudden change doesn't surprise you. You know Tristian, known for his calm demeanor and logical approach, isn't exactly pleased with your request, but refusing you isn't an option, as my lord wishes, if you'll excuse me. Without waiting for a reply, he adjusts the loosened collar of your coat with a practical air. Unlike you or the coachman, he seems completely unaffected by the cold. Where are their coats? They are out in the winter snow with no coats on. No furs, no scarves, nothing. Just out here in the elements, unprotected white people. Once he's finished, Tristian turns to the coachman. Keep the horses ready. The coachman's silent nod betrays his discontent. But whatever the case, you're certain he'd rather be anywhere than in Tristan's place. Tristian is a secret yeti. The sudden violent gust of wind forces you to cling tightly to Tristian, relying on his strength and warmth as much as you can. Yes. Cozy up to the butler. When you reach your family's grave, nothing appears out of the ordinary at first glance. We must move quickly, my lord. The weather is worsening. You know he's more concerned about you than himself. You can't help but silently berate yourself for your impulsive decision. Perhaps it really is time to meet with a new doctor. The handkerchief isn't here. Let's go back. Wait a moment, Tristian. What's this flower? What is that flower? Oh my god, wait. Somebody scattered the lilies and added a red one. Ooh, who could it be? Amidst the bouquet of white lilies you left on the grave, so easily scattered by the wind, one vibrant red flower stands out. As he pulls it free, Tristan's eyes narrow slightly. It appears to be a crimson lily, my lord. What does that mean? The hallucination you saw earlier flashes vividly in your mind, sending a shiver down your spine. But what's it doing here? It was likely mixed in by mistake. When the bouquet was prepared, my lord, you would see a bright red lily amongst white lilies very easily, sir. This is gaslighting. You reach for the crimson lily in his hand and examine it closely. It's identical to the white lilies you selected for your family, except for its color. Oh no, I remember the bouquet perfectly. This isn't possible. Red lilies in flower language is strong, passionate feelings? I wonder if our fiancé left this, or someone who's in deep, deep love with our dead parents. I don't know. Could be anyone. In that case, perhaps it was blown here by the wind from another grave. Look, all the flowers on that grave over there are red. Curiosity and determination compel you to rise on your tiptoes, trying to see the grave Tristian is pointing out. I like how the screen lifts up as he's like on his tippy toes. He's so short. But you're not as convinced as Tristian that they're the same flower, or even flowers at all. At that moment, your careless stance catches up with you and your foot slips. In a desperate attempt to keep from falling, you grab onto Tristan's coat. We are doing a lot of grabbing on Tristian. For the first time, you manage to catch him off guard. His typically rigid posture wavers, and he leans towards you. You find his face suddenly startlingly close to yours. Though his lips remain perfectly composed, his golden eyes flicker with an unusual, unreadable glimmer. If it's important to you, my lord, I can inspect every grave here, one by one. Yes, please do that for me. Your entire body heats with mortification, enough to make you momentarily forget the cold. With his help, you manage to regain your balance once more. Check the grave. Yeah, check the grave. I'm curious. Not every grave. You know this is sheer foolishness, yet you press on. I want to check that grave. Tristan's hesitant gaze shifts between you and the hill. My lord, if you'll allow it, I'll check that grave myself. There's no need for you to trouble yourself in this weather. I need to see it with my own eyes. Stubbornness isn't a trait you're usually known for, yet the firmness in your voice leaves Tristian with little choice. Please, my lord, stay as close to me as possible. I can do that. The ground might be icy. No, bad thing to say, sir. Perhaps that's why, even though you haven't gone far, you fail to notice the freshly snow-covered pit right in front of you. It all happens in a fleeting moment right after you let go of Tristan's arm to adjust your coat. As soon as you step forward, the dry grass barely covering the pit crackles under your weight and gives way, and in the blink of an eye, you find yourself in a cold pit. Did we die? This place, too narrow for a grave, makes it impossible for you to get out on your own. Fortunately, it doesn't take long for Tristian to rush to your aid and pull you out. However, as you hurry back home in the carriage, the numbing effects of the cold begin to wear off, and the pain in your leg intensifies to a level you can no longer ignore. The doctor, hastily summoned to the manor, informs you that your condition is worse than you thought. Oh my God, we are going to die. There's no choice but to postpone the wedding. Unlike your fiancé and his family who rushed to the mansion upon hearing this bad news, you can't say this little accident has made you particularly unhappy. After all, while the entire household and your fiancé dote on you, eagerly awaiting your recovery, you now have the perfect excuse to spend the snowy winter days confined to your bed, if only it weren't for the pain. Are you kidding me? Not me getting a bad end right off the bat. That's crazy. So, how about we don't check the grave? Not important. No, it's not important. You've been foolish. There's no way you'll truly believe the white lilies you left behind have changed color. As you take Tristan's offered arm, you feel something new, embarrassment mixed with unease. These feelings stay with you until you settle into the carriage waiting at the entrance of the cemetery. The warmth of the enclosed space offers only slight comfort, especially with Tristian sitting directly across from you. His presence is a constant, his sharp eyes ever watchful. You are aware that the situation, traveling alone with a servant, is hardly appropriate for someone like you. What you mean? But since Tristan's arrival, he's been far from an ordinary butler. To the other staff and to you. What do you mean, not an ordinary butler? Is he a hell of a butler? Sorry, that was a bad joke. You haven't been sleeping very well lately, my lord. If there's anything besides the upcoming wedding troubling you, please don't hesitate to tell me. Your expression hardens reflexively. Daisy told you this, didn't she? Daisy, your maid, listens to him more than she listens to you, much to your ongoing frustration. I'll dismiss her as soon as we return to the manor. What? For the first time in what feels like forever, a faint smile crosses Tristan's face. As you wish, my lord. That's kinky. It seems like he wants to become a full-service butler. Right. Look at the way he's looking at us. Like, that is lust. It's, I want to bend you over in this carriage and fill you with my pups. I'll make sure a replacement with all the necessary qualities is arranged promptly. Get pup nerd! Exactly. You doubt any new maid, no matter how reserved, would defy him. Tristian is too commanding for a servant, and you far too compliant for a master. Tristian is given this whole, like, role play thing, like master, servant. The servant is the alpha, the master is an omega, this power dynamic imbalance. Just, I kind of want this. I kind of need this. Still, his flawless management of the estate over the past 5 years has left no room for complaint, even from you. The sound of hooves crunching through the snow fills the silence. Wolves, my lord? You asked what was keeping me awake at night. Tristian narrows his eyes slightly. Ah, I see. The howls from the forest near the manor, perhaps? Tristian says, your parents are dead. I'm your daddy now. I cannot! But true. It feels like they're howling louder than ever these nights. I'll arrange for hunters from the nearby village to deal with it, my lord. You needn't concern yourself. Thank you. If that's truly all that keeps you up. Your voice rises unintentionally. What do you mean by that, Tristian? Perhaps you should consider postponing the wedding, my lord. Why? I only suggest this because winters are particularly hard on your health. Forgive me if I've overstepped. You know you have, and you don't care. Your brows knit together in irritation, yet you can't immediately find the words to refute him. Oscar is a noble alpha, and you a noble omega. Marrying Oscar isn't about love, it's an obligation, like every other inexplicable, unshakable duty in your world. You know neither you nor your fiancé truly has to stay in this. Postponing the wedding will only temporarily mask this reality. Still, you sense that Tristian's words might be hinting at your passiveness in this situation. Thank you for thinking of me, Tristian, but I'm well enough. Everything should proceed as planned. The decision is mine to make, Tristian. I'll let it slide this time, but I don't want you bringing this up again. That part, like, mind your business. The decision is mine to make, Tristian. I'll let it slide. Since you avert your gaze, you can't quite make out the expression on Tristian's face. However, the unusually hesitant tone in his voice proves that he's taken your warning to heart. I'm grateful, my lord. I assure you, it won't happen again. Yes, it will. As time passes, you hear the eerie creak of the wrought iron gates surrounding the estate's grounds. The sound signals the end of your journey. Descending from the carriage, you clutch your bag tightly. Hidden beneath your handkerchief lies the crimson lily you found at the grave. The dark silhouette of the manor greets you with all its gloom in the middle of the white landscape. Even though this has disturbed you since childhood, you cannot deny that over the years, it has unintentionally bound you to this place. When your fiancé expressed his desire to live here after your marriage, enjoying the manor's atmosphere, it was one of the few decisions you made together. Due to its age and size, the manor has never been adequately warm or well lit. As you step inside, the familiar sense of comfort and security relaxes you. Your maid, Daisy, hurries over with quick steps to help you out of your thick outerwear. Hey Daisy, nice to not see you. Ma'am, if you don't get away from my Tristian. Make sure the bath is properly heated. Also, bring chamomile tea with honey and lemon. Okay. Without a single protest, Daisy bows to him in a manner she is clearly accustomed to, and a flicker of rebellion ignites within you. However, you realize that scolding and punishing the maid would only be a superficial solution. Yes! Scold and punish Tristian for overstepping. Sir, I am the lord of this estate. Bow down to me. I feel like this man would never bow. The real battle you need to fight is against Tristian. There we go. You must weaken his authority in the mansion and start by changing this order. Right! This man, I need you on your knees right now. You do not know your place. I don't care if you're an alpha or not. Hell, I don't care if you're a dominant alpha. On your knees, sir. Kiss my hand and pledge allegiance to me. You are too tired to challenge the established order in the manor. This is your house! It's a fatigue that has been intensifying in recent days, robbing you of restful sleep. It feels as if every step you take tightens invisible chains, weighing you down, forcing you to stop. You try to tell yourself this is just wedding stress. At least you don't have a more reasonable explanation for it. Not yet. The oppressive silence of the manor, filled only with the sound of crackling firewood and distant footsteps, is suddenly interrupted by the creak of a door. Your eyes quickly find your maid, who has appeared at the entrance. "The bath is ready, my lord." "Thank you, I'm coming." As you step into the bathroom, the stifling heat envelops you. It's much warmer and more humid than usual. Steam rises from the water in the tub, filling the room with a pale glow and fogging the windows at the top of the bathroom. "How's the temperature, my lord?" You want to ask her to open a window, but the warmth quickly surrounds you, spreading to every corner of your body. "It's fine." "I'm glad. The butler mentioned you stayed outside for quite some time. This will do you good." With Daisy's help, you manage to easily slip out of your clothes. The ties of your clothes loosen and fall away. In a short time, a pile of fabric forms at your feet, and you can feel the heat directly on your bare skin. Oh, we get naked. Since it's still light outside, I don't think you'll need many candles. Daisy lights a few candles quickly, then turns to gather the pile of clothes. "Would you like me to assist you while you bathe, my lord?" "No, get out." Naked and vulnerable, you suppress the chill that rises within you and move towards the tub. "No need, Daisy." "Thank you. Go away." "Don't forget to drink your tea." "No." The closing door echoes in the room as Daisy departs. Slowly lowering your body into the warm water, you sink entirely into the tub. This is where I want a CG. I want a bathtub CG, please. Not harlot behavior. Trollop? Jeez. I cannot. Drink the tea. You know what? I've learned my lesson. We save. Chat, should we drink the tea or not drink the tea? I don't trust this night-night sleepy time tea. From Tristian. Chamomile, lemon and honey. This man trying to put me to sleep. Drink it, question marks? I need to know. You need to know. Fine. Despite the tart taste filling your mouth, it should not be tart. It's chamomile tea with lemon and honey. I cannot. You're amazed at how well Tristian seems to know exactly what you need. Soon, an odd sense of joy fills your mind. It feels as if all the invisible chains that weighed you down have snapped one by one. The approaching wedding, the exhaustion of recent days, the wolves howling through the night, the crimson lilies in the cemetery, the snow-white winter. All of it fades into distant memories in your mind. Your entire body is enveloped in a sweet lethargy. He drugged us! Sleep closes your eyes with a pleasant inevitability. We are about to drown in the bathtub. If I have learned one thing from playing otome games, it's never drink the tea that a man gives you, because that man is a yandere, and there is something in the tea that is gonna knock you out for X amount of time. Like, rule number one, never drink the tea. It's not tea. It's night-night juice. You taste peace. When you open your eyes again, you find yourself still in the bathroom. I cannot. But you can sense something strange even before you see it. At first glance, the only noticeable difference is the absence of daylight filtering through the windows above, replaced by shadows cast by the extinguished candles Daisy had lit. You likely dozed off in the tub. The air is so stifling that it's hard to gauge how much time has passed, but you feel the sharp clarity and freshness that comes after an untimely prolonged rest. Just as you're about to sit up and leave the tub, your gaze falls on a dark silhouette by the edge of the tub. It doesn't take long to realize that the shadow is actually a large face with a wide toothy grin leaning against your bathtub. What the hell? It's a freaking wolf! The reverberation of the voice against the walls is unsettling, yet oddly it comforts you. Extending your hand out of the tub, you begin to stroke the uninvited guest who had been watching you inappropriately. What? The creature responds with quick, noisy breath from its nose, expressing its delight. What are you doing here, Snow? We have a dire wolf? Okay, who wants to bet that Snow is Tristian? Because Snow is Tristian for sure. A few years ago, during an incredibly harsh winter, you followed faint, pitiful whimpers outside the manor and found Snow buried in a snow-filled pit on the verge of freezing. I swear to God. If we say, and that was the day we met Tristian, I swear to God. Back then, his wet, sparse fur was barely distinguishable from the snow. Now, it has grown thick and glossy. As you turn your fingers through his fur, you suddenly realize your hand is wet. You pull your hand back. You're soaking wet, Snow. Have you been rolling around in the snow again while I was gone? This discovery dampens your mood, and you can't help but grumble. How could they let you outside? You can't even count how many times Snow has slipped out into the forest without anyone noticing. If there's one thing you remember clearly, it's warning everyone in the manor about this repeatedly. Despite his silence, Snow's large eyes remain fixed on you. Does the dog normally speak to you? Don't look at me like that, Snow. The wild wolves in the forest could tear you apart. As you move your hand away from the tub's edge, you notice the trail it leaves behind. Thick, dark droplets slowly distort the handprint, and you realize that the substance coating Snow's fur isn't melted snow. Oh my God, is it blood? Oh my God, an enigmatic expression dominates Snow's shadowed face, devoid of pain. Your gaze instinctively shifts from him to yourself. And that's when you realize the truth. The marks don't come from Snow. They come from you. What? The tub you've been sitting in is filled with blood. What? This better be a hallucination, I swear. Your first scream is filled more with shock than fear. The last BL game I played where a protagonist was in a bloody tub was Sweet Pool. I don't like it. I don't like it here. No matter how many times you open and close your eyes, the reality before you doesn't change. Oh my God. This can't be. How could there be so much blood? You're absolutely certain you don't feel any pain. I'm not injured. You need to get out of the tub immediately. But despite the clarity of your mind, your body refuses to move, frozen like a corpse. And that is the final blow to your control. Help! Daisy! Wow. Wow! No! Not the wolf biting us! No, Snow, stop, please! Instead of pain or burning, you feel only pressure as Snow's powerful jaws tighten around your arm. With surprising strength, he manages to drag you out of the tub. Thank you, wolf friend. Snow, let me go. Snow is saving you. Shut up. If you want to help me, go outside and get somebody. Is the wolf supposed to understand him? Is this wolf Lassie? No matter what you say, you can't stop him. The liquid from the tub spills onto the floor. Ew! That's gross. Crying, screaming, you have no other option. Someone come here. Isn't anyone there? Snow nudges you a few times with his paws before abandoning his efforts. He circles around you in strange patterns, letting out low, agonized whines. The stiffness and coldness enveloping your body, the blood-filled tub, your unheard cries, and Snow's pained howls ignite one singular thought in your mind. As if trying to escape this reality, you let out a final desperate cry. No! No, not Tristian! You have no means left to call for help. At the same moment, Snow gives up his futile struggle and collapses hopelessly on the floor. In the ensuing silence, you see the shadows in the bathroom multiply. Cold darkness and silence. Did we die again? The sound of hurried footsteps echoing through the mansion fills your ears, and your heart and senses come alive again. As the footsteps rapidly approach, the door suddenly creaks open with a terrifying screech. My lord, it's me. So Tristian is not the wolf. As you wait in silent anticipation, the softness of a towel wrapping your damp skin reaches you. Immediately after, strong arms lift you effortlessly off the ground. I want a CG of this. I want to see him being carried, princess style, butt-ass naked, and wrapped in a fuzzy towel. Please and thank you. Everything's fine, my lord. I'm here. That's not reassuring. I'm terrified! Though it sounds like a command, his words swiftly slip into your mind, silencing the uncontrollable orchestra of fear inside you. Not this man using his alpha voice on us. Suddenly you feel the weight of the breaths you're taking. As the stiffness in your body quickly dissolves, an involuntary ache spreads through your muscles. A warm shiver runs down your spine from head to toe. What happened here? It's freezing here, my lord. Are you all right? The light from the doorway stings your eyes. Even so, you can make out Daisy standing at the door with a lamp in hand, scanning the room in astonishment. The bathtub? There is nothing in that damn bathtub. Check the bathtub. It's fine. You see Daisy hesitantly pointing her lamp at the bathtub without fully understanding what's going on. Oh, all the water has spilled out of the tub and it's gone cold. What is up with the hallucinations? The realization it reignites everything you thought had calmed inside. This time, you're sure it wasn't a hallucination. It was. No, impossible. Tristian, put me down. I can't. Tristian's amber eyes narrow in suspicion. My lord, I said put me down. I'll check the tub myself. There's nothing there. He's being a child now. Let me go! Your impatient outburst draws startled whispers, making you aware of the spectators at the doorway. So everybody was just watching me on the floor butt naked, and only person who thought to put a blanket over me was Tristian. Deciding to leave that question for later, you focus on the moment. Tristian finally complies, slowly setting you down from his arms. You take timid steps towards the bathtub, determined. Handing you the lamp, Daisy murmurs hesitantly, "What's the matter, my lord? Did you see a mouse?" Ignoring her, you firmly direct the lamp's light to the bathtub. But even before you do, the faint glimmer reflecting from the floor proves that only water has spilled from the tub. Looking inside confirms the same. The blood that had filled the tub just moments ago, not even a trace remains. Okay. So everything that just happened was nothing more than another. No matter how vivid and terrifying it felt, you refuse to believe it. Tristan's calm but stern voice breaks the silence. Did I assign anyone a task that required standing idly at the door? Sir, I appreciate you looking out for me, but again, my house, my servants. I don't understand. Am I mistaken? Oop. The shadows at the doorway quickly scatter at his tone. As his tone softens slightly, directed at you. You must have had a nightmare, my lord. I think you're right. Please, don't be upset. It must have been caused by the sudden change in temperature. The sudden change in temperature caused me to hallucinate a bathtub full of blood. Gaslight, my guy. Gaslight. This man is gaslighting the fuck out of us. It's crazy. Despite the dim light, you can discern the hardening line on Tristan's face. Luckily, they're not aimed at you. How could you leave my lord alone in the bath for so long? You weren't even aware the fire had gone out. Under Tristan's icy gaze, the poor servant's face turns crimson. I just never leave my lord alone again under any circumstances. Or you'll need to find yourself a new place to work. Damn, you can't fire my staff, Tristian. Oh my gosh. What are you still waiting for? Take him to the room immediately. Help him dry off and get dressed, and make sure he hasn't been hurt. Okay. He can't do none of, like, sir, I need him to chill. He has too much authority in this house. Not wanting to stay a moment longer in this unsettling place, you hurry to leave. Just as you're about to step out of the room, one of the shadows in the corner moves and lunges at you. Oh, it's Snow. I don't trust Tristian. You stare at your dog in disbelief. It's not a dog, it's a dire wolf. Wondering how it managed to stay still and silent in the bathroom until now. Daisy, afraid of upsetting Tristian further, tries to pull Snow away from you. Now's not the time, Snow. Get away immediately. It never listens. Bad dog. Wait, Daisy, that wolf is gonna bite her. Grabbing a nearby towel, you crouch down to Snow under Daisy's astonished gaze and start drying its fur. Did Snow go outside while I was away? No, my lord. As Tristian approaches, you see her lower her head anxiously, unable to say more. Damn. This is crazy. Okay. You're certain she's hiding something. Still, you don't want to interrogate her in front of Tristian and prolong the tension of the evening. But just then you notice the dark stain on the towel in your hands. At least this time, you're sure it wasn't your imagination. Not now. Snow starts panting excitedly again, looking at you intently as if trying to tell you something. It's that mofo behind you. It's Tristian. I'm translating for Snow. Yet, despite the insistence in his large, bright eyes, he can't convey his message. Snow knows it's Tristian. Tristian's shadow leans over him, shrouding him in darkness. Don't worry, my lord. It seems Snow isn't injured. This blood must have come from somewhere else. I've told you countless times not to give him bloody, raw meat, haven't I? That is not from dinner. Get out of here, Tristian. You know it's one of Tristian's rules to tame Snow, who already looks wilder than an ordinary dog, because it's not a dog. Though you believe there isn't an ounce of savagery in Snow, you've never opposed Tristian on this matter, especially since he's always claimed Snow was unsuitable for life in the manor. Okay. It must have been the kitchen staff who gave it to him. No, they didn't. What the hell? Truly, my lord, who are you speaking to? Can this be discussed later? I'm cold. As the butler, it's your duty to know everything that happens in this manor, Tristian. Bro, I'm cold. Like, I got time for this right now. I'm gonna go with willful ignorance today. Actually, no. As a butler, it's your duty to know everything that's happening in this manor, Tristian. Yes, please forgive my incompetence, my lord. Absolutely not. You can rest assured that such confusion will never happen in the manor again. As you retreat to your room, Daisy carefully dries and dresses you, but your thoughts remain a tangled mess. You can barely follow her words as she continues, her gaze filled with gratitude never leaving you. Believe me, my lord, I came as soon as I heard your voice. I just wanted to tidy up your belongings while you were bathing. I noticed one of your perfumes was almost empty, so I went downstairs to send a servant to order a new one. You know the wedding is approaching and everything must be perfect. Wait, do we not have pheromones? Daisy gently rubs some ointment over the few bruises on your back and legs caused by the fall on the bathroom's hard floor. As for the strong bite Snow left on your arm, there isn't a single mark. You could have guessed Snow wouldn't do such a thing, now peacefully curled up and sleeping near the roaring fireplace. Catching your gaze on the dog, Daisy immediately speaks up. I mean the blood on Snow. Maybe he slipped outside and caught a rabbit or something. I'd never go against Tristian's, or rather your order. You see this? Why is she more concerned with Tristian's order than mine? Me, sir, ma'am. You know, at least in this matter, she isn't lying, or more precisely can't lie. Thanks, Daisy. Since Daisy is taking these marks more seriously than usual due to the approaching wedding, you wait for her to finish her work so you can be alone. Afterwards, you try to process everything that happened during the day. After all, you need to make a decision eventually. First, the blood-stained lilies in the cemetery, then the blood-filled bathtub. They are quite different from the hallucinations you've experienced before. That's why finding a solution doesn't seem as easy as you'd hope. If the crimson lily in the cemetery was really dragged from another's grave, and Snow just stole raw meat from the kitchen. Oh, what am I even thinking? Of course that must be what happened. Are you serious? You try to push these nonsensical thoughts aside and focus on the upcoming wedding and the details demanding your attention. But before long, sleep overtakes you. In the middle of the night, you slip out from beneath your heavy blankets, unsure of what awoke you. You approach the window beside your bed and peer outside. The dark forest, starting where the high garden walls end, is cloaked in an eerie stillness and silence tonight. None of the wolf howls that filled the recent nights reach your ears now. Stepping away from the window, your gaze returns to your room, warm and brightly lit by the crackling fireplace. Daisy, insistent on not leaving you alone, sleeps peacefully in the chair by the fireplace, her head resting against its back. Despite the nightmare you experienced in the bathroom, you desperately need the peaceful sleep you found there. You start thinking of something that could help you achieve it. You consider what might help you and think of chamomile tea as your best option. At least for now, a hot bath is out of the question. Yeah. Not wanting to disturb Daisy's sleep, you decide to head to the kitchen. Someone there is bound to be awake, preparing for the day ahead, as work in the kitchen starts earlier than the rest of the manor. Wrapping yourself in your robe, you slip quietly into the hallway. You quicken your pace as you descend the stairs and head towards the kitchen. But despite the lit lamps and the boiling pot on the stove, the kitchen is empty. Your steps almost instinctively lead you to the other side of the kitchen, to the open door leading to the corridor where the storage rooms are located. In the dark hallway, you easily spot the only door ajar, light spilling through its gap. However, the sounds coming from inside, moans perhaps? What in the hell? The only thing you are certain of is that Tristian is in there. Why is he in there moaning though? Oh no, we can't go in! No! No! What do you mean I can't go in? What did I do? Fine, I'll go back to my room. Fuck it. You know that encountering an inappropriate scene wouldn't suit someone like you. Whatever is happening in there, you are confident that Tristian would never let it interfere with his duties. Shut up. With few other options, you decide to return to your room. Crawling back into your bed, you wait helplessly for sleep to take you. Back to bed with us. Snow, barking a few times in his sleep, makes your effort more challenging, yet Daisy remains undisturbed. Eventually, as the room starts to brighten with the first light of dawn, your eyes finally close, only to open again just a few hours later. Oh, I survived the day! Hey! 9 days left. Okay. A new day. No matter how long you sleep, you wake up at the same time every morning without exception and have your breakfast. Is that the Sprite? Yo, the Sprite is all the way up here. So that does not change the fact that you need them. If that was one day, that was exhausting. It was. You have no idea things would function without them. When you leave the dining room and take your place at your writing desk, the letters you need to respond to are already waiting for you. In the winter months, the estate and its lands are wrapped in an even deeper silence under the weight of snow. No sound of the heavy door knocker announcing a visitor, no distant rumble of carriage wheels passing by. The only connection you have to the outside world is in these letters. During the season, they are usually so few that reading them every couple of days and delivering the necessary replies to Tristian before noon is a simple and routine responsibility. Okay, we shouldn't not survive today, we're just writing letters. Catalogs from the boutiques in town. You are certain your wardrobe has undergone enough changes due to the wedding. Hunting invitations from neighboring estates. You never found fox hunting in the cold to be an enjoyable activity. A note from a maternal relative offering their regrets for being unable to attend the wedding and sending well wishes. This serves as the final confirmation that none of your maternal relatives, those not too distant to have received invitations, will be present at the ceremony. That's weird. Why are none of your maternal relatives coming to the wedding? That's suspicious. Not that it makes much of a difference to you. You merely fulfilled your duty as expected. All right, so it's a letter from a lawyer. I don't care about that. That you can easily leave to Tristian. And a dinner invitation dated today from the Red Heart Manor. The Red Heart Manor belongs to your closest neighbor, your fiancé and his family. Now we get to be the fiancé. For the past few months, you have politely declined every invitation you received, citing poor health due to the season. For a moment, you consider doing the same with this one. After all, the letter states that it is merely a small, intimate dinner. Why don't you want to eat with your fiancé? What? No! Just as you are about to finish your letter, you hear a knock at the door and lift your head. Come in. I was about to say, did the dog knock on the door? Because I can't even. I brought you tea and some refreshments. I am not drinking your tea again, you witch. You try to recall when you made such a request. I didn't. Don't drink the tea. Yet you attempt to remember, even the moment before grows hazy in your mind. You forget why you were writing the letter in front of you in the first place. Leave. Dearest Oscar, stop fucking DMing me, you desperate man. Don't hit me up no more. Right? That's essentially what he's doing. Not our fiance trying to slide in our DMs and we just telling him, nah, fam. It's not like that. I don't want you like that. We aren't that serious. We're literally getting married. Right? This game is so funny. If you prefer, I can ask them to prepare the large serving tray right away. Your dog, after allowing himself to be petted for a while and devouring the biscuit Daisy accidentally dropped on the floor, quickly moves away from you and heads to the burning fireplace. Daisy should be fired. Daisy left us alone in a bathtub and we could have drowned, but we had a weird hallucination. My dog comes home covered in blood while on her watch, and now this heifer is dropping food on my floor. Ma'am, why are you employed? Tristian, fire this bitch. You shake yourself as if rousing from sleep. The letters, petting your dog, Daisy's arrival with the tray. It all reemerges in your mind as nothing more than links in a chain of routine. A cycle repeats without the need for any request. No, Daisy, thank you for doing exactly as I asked. But what about that moment of forgetfulness? Who cares? It feels as though the exhaustion in your body is seeping into your mind. You push the thoughts aside and return to your letters without delay. As Daisy, relieved from her earlier nervousness, sets the tray down on the table, her eyes catch one of the open letters. Her enthusiastic voice slices through the quiet ambiance of your small study like a blade. I didn't know you were writing to Lord Oscar. My lord, please forgive me for interrupting. Why does that matter? Unfortunately, the words you've penned lack the romance and passion she's likely imagining. You are well aware of how betas romanticize omega and alpha marriages. Okay, so Daisy is a beta. Envisioning them as bonds of perfect compatibility, intense attractions, and unwavering devotion. I would much rather be a beta and marry another beta, but go off. Yet, in reality, these unions forged for power and status require no such conditions. Still, in this moment, you realize something important about Oscar's letter, something that nearly escaped your notice. The problem lies in the handwriting. The dinner invitation was not written or signed by your fiancé, but by someone else, merely posing as him. Oscar's attention is either a gross act of negligence or a blatant display of disrespect. Now I'm gonna show up at your house. Or perhaps both. Taking the letter you wrote to your fiancé in hand, you raise from your chair and approach the fireplace. Right! The disrespect that came from Oscar, now I'm gonna show up at your house. Just before you let the paper slip into the rising flames, you turn to Daisy. Could you summon Tristian for me? Yeah, we ride. As you watch the letter ignite with a sharp hiss and crumble into ash, your thoughts begin to crowd your mind, filling the silence Daisy leaves behind as she departs. I'm a beta truther. I love OMEGAVERSE, but me? What? Better be beta. Okay, so we did this the last time. We took an OMEGAVERSE quiz and I put it in the chat so you guys could take it as well. I got a beta. I always get beta. I got like happy-go-lucky beta. We're gonna take this quiz on stream. Let's take a break from the game for a second and take an OMEGAVERSE quiz because why not? All right. What is your ideal partner? Funny? Next. Where would you go for a first date? Picnic date, nighttime hike. We're not walking anywhere. Clubbing, I don't like noise and people. Their house. Movies and dinner, bowling, aquarium, zoo, my house. I love these two options. Just, we're smashing. Movies and dinner, question mark? You're doing a Kahoot with a group and your partner. Do you let them win? No. Them winning is disrespectful to me. That's alpha energy. Like, it's crazy. No. You ask someone out on a date. Do you pay? What? No. The answer is no, but I suppose we could split, but the answer is no. Fuck no. How do you spend your free time? Reading fan fiction. When you play open world games, Minecraft, Terraria, ARK, none of these that I play, what do you enjoy doing? Exploring. I take other people's stuff for funsies. I don't really play these games, but if I was, I would take other people's stuff for funsies. It's a tie between exploring and resource hoarding. but I think exploring, yeah. Best question ever. What is your favorite color? Natural colors. I like earthy browns and greens. No. Any color except for neons. Jewel tones. Pastels. Black, baby? Neons. Ooh, warm colors. You find out your friends have a group chat excluding you. What do you do? Immediate violence. Ignore it. People can do whatever they want. What website do you spend most of your time on? AO3, YouTube, Spotify, Discord, Reddit, Twitter, or Facebook? Tumblr, Instagram, Snapchat, movies, Netflix, movies. Pick your ideal superpower. Mind control, invisibility, shapeshifter, healing, super strength, pyrokinesis, toxic animal, or immortality. Shapeshifter sounds fun, actually. Never mind. Do you platonically flirt with your friends? It's not platonic anymore. I've been suffering for so long. God help me. That's crazy. Sure. How do you handle stress? Violence. Journal. Art. Take a walk. No. Cry my feelings out. Abuse others about it. What the hell? Vent to others. Ignore it. It'll go. Vent to others. What's your role in a group project? I like being in charge. I do whatever needs to be done. I do the bare minimum. Make sure everyone else does their shit. Group? Nobody wants to group with me. Oh, that's sad. I do whatever needs to be done. Cats or dogs? Both? You need to go out late at night to go to the store. It's pitch black and the street lights are the only source of light. What do you do? What? Yeah, why the fuck am I going alone? You're sitting in class and your teacher is being frustrating. How do you handle it? Ignore it. It's not my fucking problem. This is dramatic. This is determining whether or not I'm gonna be an alpha, omega, or a beta. My pride is at stake here. What is your favorite emoticon? Emojis only. That one. Which country would you move to? What the fuck does any of this have to do with anything? England? I don't understand. What color is math? Green? Green. Money. Do you like Andrew Tate? Who the fuck is that? I don't know. What type of clothing do you wear most often? The sluttiest shit on God's green earth. I want to be the most fuckable bitch in the grocery store. What are these choices? Oh my god! Whatever I have, it looks good. My favorite trope. I'm torn between OMEGAVERSE. I like all of these. I like enemies to lovers. I like OMEGAVERSE. And fake dating is so funny. And arranged marriage too. God damn it. I don't know. Enemies to lovers. Which of these fanfics would you read based on the tags? Major character death ain't, no, absolutely not. Comfort hurt, no. Graphic depictions of, no. Strangers to lovers, tattoo flower shop AU, mild angst fluff, no beta, we die like men. Yo, that one. You're walking through a public space and see someone beating up an innocent person. It's just you three there at the moment, and the attacker looks to be more muscular than you. What do you do? I would keep walking. What do you do if you're sick and have a prior engagement? I stay at home and reschedule. We're not going anywhere. Yeah. Someone is yelling at you for something you didn't do. How do you reply? Fight them. Don't reply. Start yelling back and insulting them. Wait for them to get done and calmly explain what's going on. Start crying. Beat them up and call them slurs. Wow. When you're done, you're wrong. You're on the internet and have somehow managed to get yourself into an internet argument about something you're coming to realize you're clearly wrong about. How do you handle it? Edit a Wikipedia page to prove I'm right. Okay. What's your opinion on Elon Musk? Fuck this man. Massive loser. Your friend comes out to you. How do you respond? I'm gayer, not a competition. What the hell? Thank you for telling me I'm proud of you. I'm okay. LMAO, okay. You gay? That's kind of gay, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'd be comfortable with being friends with them. That's rude. I already know dumbass, affectionately. That's Bakugo coded. Thank you for telling me. I'm proud of you. What's my favorite genre of television / books? Rom-coms? Horror? No, rom-coms. Why can't you pick more than one? I like slice of life. Rom-com. If you were stranded on an island and could only bring one thing, what would be that thing? A lighter, a book, a gun, Swiss Army knife, musical instrument, phone. Is there internet on this island? Because the phone might actually be useless. Book. You stumble upon a dead body laid on the side of the road. A quick glance around tells you you're alone. What do? Leave it there. It's not my problem. Which aesthetic do you vibe with the most? Scene, emo, punk, no. Void punk, glitchcore, no. Y2KS, cottagecore, monochromatic, minimalist, preppy, dark academia. Cyberpunk, not the game. Kawaii, solar punk. Solar punk looks kind of cool. How many questions are there? What are you most afraid of? Rejection, abandonment, betrayal, loneliness, spiders. What time of day do you like the most? Ooh, twilight. You've just been invited to a potluck. Congratulations. What do you bring? I'm invited. I'm hosting. No, I'm bringing the dessert. I'm bringing a side dish. I'm bringing chips. I don't know. I'm not bringing anything. Right. 40 questions. You've been supplied with a whiteboard and a whiteboard marker. What's the first thing you draw? A penis. Among Us. A person. Favorite fictional character. One of your friends' OCs. A flower. A heart. A big titty woman. A big titty woman. An animal / monster. Random inanimate objects. A penis. Text your best friend partner group chat right now. I'm serious. Ask them if you're a cat girl or a dog girl. Doesn't matter your gender. I'm 100% serious. This quiz can wait until you get a response. All right, chat. Am I a cat girl, a dog girl, or do you say some other animal? Cat girl. Are we all in agreement for cat girl? It looks like we are all in agreement. Okay. All right, cat girl it is. Which of these images resonates with you the most? Bruh. That's terrifying. That? I don't know, I like the squiggles. Oh my god. Hi, ooh, now it's Mickey's turn to ask a question. Michael Afton from Five Nights at Freddy's. What in God's name am I doing here? What in the hell is this? Okay. Don't mind them, they're just kind of silly. Do you like me? What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck? Wow, we're at question 41 now. Really hitting big numbers here. Tell me, dear test taker, how are you feeling right now taking this quiz? This will affect your results. This quiz sucks. It's way too long. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit boring now. How do you snore based on vibes? Snork, me, hunk shoe. That one. Guess. 43. Okay. When in public reading smut fluff, can you keep your face impassive? If you don't read fic in public, this won't affect your results. Yes, for smut only. Yes, for both. Yes. No. I can keep my face like straight for both. Oh my god, there's 44 goddamn questions. Which fanfiction site do you use to read on? AL3. What's your favorite animal? Dog, wolf, cat, bird, cow, fox, possum, monkey, lion, fish, snakes, dinosaurs, sheep, goats. Fox? Oh my god. This is the first time I've ever gotten Omega. I got Stoic Omega, guys. I have never gotten Omega before. That's crazy. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you, test taker. So you've been assigned Stoic Omega. What does that mean for you? Stoic Omegas tend to suppress their feelings, preferring to pretend they don't need an alpha at all. However, you deep down still want someone to take your problems away from you. Anyway, maybe stop repressing your emotions and get therapy. This is some disrespectful shit. You would excel in teaching jobs or jobs involving children. Yeah, this quiz doesn't know me. You're able to be firm with children, but also loose enough to have fun and relate to them. It would be uncomfortable at first, but with a good mentor, you'd ease right into it. As a Stoic Omega, you are most compatible with dominant alphas, caring betas, protective betas, and aggressive omegas. Let's see. Submissive. My answer: Stoic Omega, loner alpha, submissive Omega, protective beta, flirty beta, soft alpha, independent, Jesus, pathetic alpha, wow, submissive alpha, dominant alpha, aggressive Omega, caring beta. That's crazy. Most people got submissive Omega though. That's crazy. Huh, interesting. So I'm somewhere in between here. I'm definitely giving like mixed results. My secondary one was loner alpha. What does that say about me? I'm either a Stoic Omega or a loner alpha. That's some crazy shit. Well, that was a quiz. Moving on. As you watch the letter ignite with a sharp hiss and crumble into ash, your thoughts begin to crowd your mind, filling the silence Daisy leaves behind as she departs. You are well aware that communication between you and Oscar has dwindled as the wedding approaches, but you are unsure of which of you is more at fault for that. Before the marriage decision was announced to you, the familiarity of being neighbors with Oscar, along with the social ties of belonging to the same circle, should have naturally fostered a smooth, effortless bond between you. But at least that's what your guardians had told you. Yet now, as you can feel that bond stretched thin on the verge of snapping at any moment. And if it does, you have no idea what awaits you on the other side. The only certainty is that your guardians and your place in society would not approve, and that you must attend this dinner tonight. A firm, commanding knock echoes through the small salon, drawing your gaze towards the entrance, and it is Tristian. Yep, there you see Tristian. As Tristian bows before you with his usual precision, you notice his gaze lingering on you with more scrutiny than usual, as though he is assessing whether you are still under the influence of yesterday's hallucinations. To be fair, you cannot say for certain yourself. You summoned me, my lord? I am at your service. I did not call for you. I hope you're feeling better today than you did yesterday. You respond in a steady voice, motioning towards the writing desk. I am, Tristian. Thank you. The letters are ready for your delivery. You may take them from the desk. But before I respond to the lawyer, I want to hear your thoughts. You catch the way Tristan's golden eyes narrow slightly. Realizing that this will be no different from any of your usual conversations, his gaze shifts swiftly from you to the desk as he moves towards it, prepared to carry out your request. Yet, before leaning over the scattered envelopes and letters, he hesitates. You have no doubt that Daisy has already informed him of what transpired. The letter from your fiancé. Your response, the fact that you burned it. The lawyer's letter is in the corner. Tristian, bowing his head, sheds his pretended hesitation in approaching your desk, filled with personal correspondence, encouraged by his implicit approval. Still, for a fleeting moment, his eyes drift elsewhere, somewhere other than the lawyer's letter. But the moment passes quickly. Okay. The issues in the letter seem to be more serious than stated, my lord. If I may offer my humble opinion, it would be wise to send a trusted person to assess the situation before granting the lawyer the approval he seeks. His ever-present calm voice makes it easy to trust him without question. After all, in 5 years, you have never encountered a reason not to. You drinking drug tea and waking up in a bath full of blood, and him gaslighting you into believing that the red, bloody flowers you saw were not real. That's not enough, Tristian. You live to fight another day. You may handle it as you see fit, Tristian, but I believe it must be done swiftly. I will go to town this afternoon to take care of the necessary correspondence, my lord. There is no need for concern. I will also speak with a few hunters from the village regarding the wolf problem in the forest. And I have already given the kitchen staff proper instructions regarding your dog's diet. I do not believe we will encounter that issue again. If there is anything else you require, my lord, you need only say the word. You can leave. It's clear that with all these tasks, Tristian will not be able to accompany you to Red Hart Manor tonight. That's fine. Though you are not accustomed to traveling alone, the mutual dissatisfaction between your fiancé and your butler makes Tristian's absence the more appropriate choice for the dinner. After a brief hesitation, you make your decision. Have the coachman prepare for the evening, Tristian. I will be attending dinner at Rosehart Manor. For a fleeting moment, something like surprise flashes through Tristian's golden eyes, an expression you are not used to seeing from him. Yet, his voice remains composed, unwavering. Forgive me, my lord. Did you mean this evening? I did. Please see to your task. I will go alone. You know that Tristian cannot press the matter outright, and so he takes another approach. My lord, forgive my impertinence, but with the recent heavy snowfall, I have concerns about whether the road to Red Hart Manor is passable for a carriage. No, you don't. Had there been more time, I would have sent someone ahead to inspect it. In this weather, there is a high risk for your carriage getting stuck in the snow, or God forbid, an accident occurring. His words unsettle you. The thought of the carriage wheels sinking into the unseen ditch, of the axles breaking, of the horses panicking and injuring themselves. For someone who does not enjoy travel to begin with, these are not mere inconveniences. They are a nightmare, especially given your recent exhaustion and the hallucinations. But the dinner is important. You must see your fiancé soon, before the impression that you have neglected him takes root. Are you suggesting I go on horseback instead? I trust you will find a suitable solution, difficult as it may be, Tristian. Let's be sassy. Are you suggesting I go on horseback instead? Tristian knows better than anyone that you do not get along with horses, and that you would never willingly ride one in this weather. He understands the irony in your voice, and for a moment, his expression darkens. Ooh, this man gonna spank us. Oh my God, I'm terrified and aroused. I'm aroused. Ooh, Tristian, you do not mean to wound him, only to remind him that he must respect your decisions. I misspoke, my lord, you did. Of course, it is my duty to ensure you travel safely. Whenever and wherever you wish. I'm sorry, I looked up at his eyes and I was like, bro, man is angry. I believe it would be best for a rider to accompany the carriage, ensuring the coachman is informed of the road's conditions in advance and keeping watch over you. This would make it easier to send for help or to turn back should anything go amiss. Are you gonna make something go amiss, sir? Additionally, I will ensure that provisions, blankets, and anything else necessary for your comfort during the journey are prepared. I am certain you will reach Red Hart Manor without issue. They literally live next door. We're not going to another country. His words instill enough confidence for you to commit to the journey, even if his expression suggests otherwise. This man is not happy. Lately, you have not only lost trust in others, but in yourself. Perhaps this trip will help you reclaim some of it. Or at least, you wish to believe so. Later in the day, though Tristian is no longer at the manor, the instructions he left behind ensure that everything proceeds seamlessly. By the time the coachman informs you that all preparations are complete, you leave your room ready to depart. Though dinner is still hours away, everyone, including yourself, agrees that it is best to set out early. Daisy follows you with eager steps, seeing you off, and though she is the only one pleased about your attendance at this dinner, you find a small sense of relief in that. Well, her and Snow, who excitedly dash around your feet, expecting an evening walk. If dinner stretches late into the night, please do not rush back, my lord. I am certain Oscar would be kind enough to offer you accommodations for the night. The thought gives you pause. You recall that until now, neither your fiancé nor you have ever spent the night in each other's mansions. Considering that you are neighbors, this is quite surprising. No doubt. Daisy, still caught up in her delight, does not notice the irony in your voice. If that is the case, you will need a maid to assist you. I don't need you, Daisy. Lord Oscar will surely assign the best in this household to attend you, but no matter who he chooses, she will not be me. Good, you are incompetent at your job, fam. If you wish, I can prepare at once and accompany you, my lord. How about you don't and we say you did? As the servant pulls the door open, the wind rushes in, carrying the frigid air of the outside world into the entryway. The sudden chill, coupled with your brief hesitation, delays your response for a moment longer than intended. Unlike Tristian, Daisy will undoubtedly spend the entire journey chattering about the upcoming wedding without pause. That's very thoughtful of you, Daisy, but I may not need the company. You know, since writing a letter himself is an inconvenience, he must be sensitive to those. Who knows with this man? Like, we haven't even met Oscar yet, but I already have feelings. Intense, passionate feelings. Daisy, struggling to keep Snow from darting outside, stares at you in bewilderment, momentarily at a loss for words. You don't wish to shatter her romantic notions so bluntly, but you continue regardless. Please look after Snow while I'm gone. Before your resolve can falter, you swiftly descend the manor steps and head towards the waiting carriage. And there it is, just... I love that the sprite is just on the ceiling. As you settle into the carriage, the doors shut behind you with a firm thud, sealing you away from the cold. Everything inside has been prepared for your comfort. Several thick blankets, a basket overflowing with refreshments, and a few books you recently acquired but have not yet read. They should be enough to keep you occupied. The carriage lurches forward, beginning its journey. For a while, you find yourself gazing outside, watching the high garden walls of the estate fade into the dense woods beyond. The snow drapes over the trees, covering their branches in a pale, bluish-white shroud. It is a breathtaking sight, one that is both enchanting and unsettling. Then a sharp, thin, and fragmented sound cuts through the stillness. Your ears strain to catch its source, but before you can pinpoint it, a dark figure moves in the depths of the forest. You don't know how long it's been there, but the moment your gaze lands upon it, it vanishes as if aware that you have seen it. Is it Tristian? A trick of the... Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. I was like, wait, did I just miss something? Yet, an uneasy shiver runs through you, as if unseen eyes are still watching. Most likely, it was a poacher who had wandered into the woods and feared being caught. That must be all. Still, you draw the curtains over the windows before returning your focus to the book in your lap, skimming through its pages without absorbing a single word. At first, you barely notice the subtle deceleration of the carriage. It's only when the horses come to a full stop that your grip on the book tightens. The muffled sound of boots crunching through the snow draws closer. Your heart pounds, though, to keep your gaze trained on the book. Then the door creaks open and a familiar face from the manor stands before you. The rider who had accompanied your journey, the one the coachman had called Rudolph. His silvery hair glows faintly under the light, a striking resemblance to Tristian's. Are they related? You suspect he too must have come from one of the villages surrounding the estate. The road is nearly blocked with snow, and there's bound to be ice. It hasn't been used much lately. If we continue, we'll have to slow down significantly, my lord. Tristian's warning, proving accurate once again, does little to ease the frustration. I feel like Tristian did something. He did this. He blocked the road. He didn't want us going. Even if you press on, it's clear you'll be late for dinner at this pace. As you weigh your options, a sound, thin, fractured, and aching, cuts through the silence. It startles you. This time, it echoes deeper within the woods. What the hell? It's there again! The weird shadow. Your hand lifts, almost of its own accord, pointing it out to Rudolph before your mind can register the movement. Yet the moment he turns to look, it's already gone. The rustling branches stirred by the wind whisper through the trees. That eerie sensation creeps up your spine again. This time, you're certain something or someone has been watching you for the entire journey. It's Tristian. And if not, then the alternative is that it's all in your mind. You force yourself to move with measured caution as you turn back to Rudolph. Did you hear that just now? His response is immediate. Of course, my lord. Likely a predator. I couldn't quite place it, but in this weather, anything you saw was probably it. They say their numbers have grown significantly in the forest lately. What are they looking for? His eyes gleam as he answers, Food, my lord. Okay. Are they just like wolves? Just like the rest of us? What does that mean? But there's no need for concern. We have rifles with us. Yes, guns. What is your decision? Shall we turn back or do we continue forward? My decision is to save. Because we've learned. I guess no matter how much we have to slow down, we will keep going? Question mark. Your words cause the young man's eyes to cloud with unease, but he merely lowers his head slightly, unable to oppose you. As you command, my lord. I'll inform the coachman immediately. As the door closes, the narrow enclosed space of the carriage fills you with a sense of safety and warmth, offering you some comfort. But you know it won't last forever. With nightfall, the dropping temperatures and growing fatigue will make the journey increasingly difficult. And yet, thinking of Oscar's indifferent and mocking nature, you doubt he sees much significance in this arduous trip. You are just about to tell the coachman to turn back when, despite not having traveled too far, the carriage suddenly lurches forward with alarming speed. It takes only a moment for you to realize this isn't the coachman's doing. You're sliding on ice. Thrown off balance, you instinctively reach for something to hold on to, but it's useless. Oh, look, you can see her legs! You fall onto the carriage floor. Fortunately, the thick pile of blankets cushioning your landing spares you from any serious harm. At the same time, the horses come to an abrupt halt, managing to stop the carriage. Your heart pounds so violently that the sound roars in your ears, nearly drowning out the noises of the carriage door opening. My lord! I'm fine. Rudolph exhales in relief as he realizes you're unharmed, merely tangled in thick blankets. We're hanging from the ceiling. And you're gone again. Though your breath fogs your vision, it doesn't take long to grasp the situation. The carriage has veered off the road, crashing through the trees, and the horses are now buried up to their bodies in a snow-covered bog. Wow, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong today. A wave of regret burns through you like a fire. While the other two assess the situation, you remain silent, merely listening. We should go find help. Don't be ridiculous. By the time help arrives, the horses will be dead. Shut up and help me. Wow. With Rudolph's assistance, the coachman manages to unfasten the horses from their harnesses and straighten the carriage. The horses are not going to make it though. But saving the horses will take far more effort. Standing at the roadside, watching them struggle, you can feel the weight of their stolen glances, the silent accusations pressing down on you. Guilt and unease settle on your shoulders like an unbearable burden. You cannot shake the feeling that something worse is coming, that something hidden in the darkness, lurking behind the trees, is watching you. But you can't point out every shadow that surrounds you. You can't burden them with yet another problem. Helpless, you retreat into the carriage and wait. Despite the comfort it offers, at this moment, the carriage feels no different from a cage. With no other way to distract yourself, you pick up your book once more, trying to drown out your thoughts. Suddenly finding yourself in darkness, your first reaction is confusion, but the weight of the book resting in your lap makes you realize you must have dozed off while reading, and we're still here. After what happened in the bathtub yesterday, you have no idea how you managed to fall asleep so easily outside in the middle of the forest. This time, it feels as if you merely blinked, yet exhaustion still clings to you. We're just passing out now. Now we're blacking out, which is even more suspicious. But the sky is already pitch black. The only sound is the howling of the wind. Your instincts scream at you not to step outside. But what about this silence, this stillness? Summoning your courage, you push the blankets off your trembling hands and crack the carriage door open. Why? Oh my God, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. Hell no! Absolutely not! Why would we do this? Why? The trees around you, cloaked in deepening shadows, seem larger, misshapen, distorted. Oh my God. But as you step to the front of the carriage, your words freeze in the air, just like your breath. The horses stand ready, harnessed, prepared to depart. Then, what are they waiting for? More importantly, where are the others? Your gaze darts around in growing dread. You know with absolute certainty they wouldn't have left you here alone.
I'm in danger.
We're not gonna make it, which means if something emerged while you were asleep in the carriage, you try to reassure yourself by recalling Rudolph's words. They had rifles. He told you not to worry. Yet a whisper from deep within tells you that their rifles might be no more useful than a child's toy. Absolutely not. The moon above spills its cold silver light onto the road, making the snow glisten like the path to a fairy tale realm. Who the hell is following blood trails in fairy tales? Is this a hallucination or is it real? Lifting your head, you see more of them ahead, dozens of them. No, it can't be. Impossible. Impossible. They must belong to some poor animal. The others must have encountered something urgent, something that required them to leave suddenly. What logic? They must have had important business to attend to, so they left me alone in the carriage in the snow. Lyndon, honey, no, baby. But no matter how hard you try, you cannot bring yourself to believe this hopeful scenario. Your steps instinctively urge you back to the safety of the carriage, yet guilt anchors you in place. If only you had been reasonable. If only you had turned back before the accident. If only you had never set out at all. An animal, just an animal. It has to be. It's always an animal. But no matter what you tell yourself, the truth seeps into your bones like the melting crimson stain spreading through the snow. Your heart pounds wildly, as if it might burst through your ribs. Every fiber of your being screams at you to retreat. Get on a horse and ride. Get on a horse and ride! Oh my God, Tristian will find you surely. He always does. Fuck Tristian. What if something else finds you first? There's no way out. Get on a horse and ride away. The horses are there. You can ride. The red trail beckons you deeper into the forest, pulling you forward against your better judgment. Man, this is some white people shit. Like, absolutely not. I see a trail of blood. I'm not following it. I'm getting on a horse and riding. Oh my God. It's a corpse. It's a very sexy corpse. Ooh, that's a very attractive corpse. Who was the dead man? Who was they? Even before stepping closer, you know it's Rudolph. That's Rudolph? Damn! Rudolph is fine. Why can't we smash Rudolph? Your hands fly to your mouth, trapping the scream that turns into a hard lump in your throat. No. God, please. Despite the burning in your lungs from uneven breaths, despite the sharp ache twisting through your muscles, you desperately want to believe this is not real. Why did we not have a horse with us? Where's our horse? A hallucination, maybe. Like yesterday, that is not a hallucination. But no matter how many times you blink, the scene before you does not change. Then you notice it, the weak rise and fall of his chest. He's still breathing. He's still alive. Rudolph! How could he still be alive after losing so much blood? Shh, details. At that moment, the sound of snapping branches reaches your ears, and a shadow emerges suddenly among the trees like a ghost. It moves so fast that you have no chance to scream or run. You're completely trapped. As if your body is no longer under your control. Your legs suddenly refuse to support you, and you collapse onto your knees? Seriously? Like prey, ready to be hunted. You should have never come to this forest. The only thing still under your control is your mouth. You manage to move your lips. No, you can't eat me. I'm not food. I mean, that depends on your definition of food, friend. Oh. As the shadow draws closer, its terrifying bulk shrinks down to human proportions, and the eerie silence of the forest is broken by a powerful, energetic laugh. I'm sure you're not food, my dear. What the hell? At the very least, I take a well-seasoned venison steak over you. Okay, shut up. You got my hopes up for nothing. What the hell are you talking about? Bastard. Oh, friggin' course. What the hell are you doing in the forest? Just strolling around? There's a corpse behind you, guy. What are we doing? A moment later, the shadow becomes clearer. His jacket, the ornate hunting rifle in his hand, and the blood-red gleam of his hair in the darkness, and the sharp cut of his jawline, all the details that make him Oscar, your fiancé. Like, bro, I have so many questions. Why is he just in the forest, wandering around? Where is your entourage? Where is your... This whole leg thing is crazy. Unlike the last time you saw him, surrounded by luxury and grandeur at a lavish gathering, now you find him standing in the cold, dark depths of the forest. For a moment, your mind struggles to comprehend it. You even fear that he may be a hallucination. And yet, despite the rising tide of fear within you, there's an odd sense of relief that cuts through it. A moment later, your voice returns. Oscar, please help me. There's something in the forest following me. I felt like I was being watched since the beginning of my journey, but I thought I was imagining things. Why is Oscar just in the friggin' forest? He's just standing here, minding his business. But it already attacked Rudolph. Look at him. He's lying there covered in blood. It could come back any moment. Who here does not believe that Oscar is responsible for Rudolph dying? Because this man is sus. As Oscar's long hunting boots crunch through the snow, you lift your gaze to him. Yet, despite everything you've just said, he doesn't seem concerned at all. Instead, under the moonlight, his smirk becomes even more pronounced. My dear, I can understand why you're so excited to see me. What the hell? But I have no idea what nonsense you're spouting. Okay. If you're done with your greetings, get up already. That's how you greet people, friend? There's a corpse behind you. You hesitate for a moment before taking his outstretched hand. There's no other choice. Wow. Oscar pulls you up with a force stronger than you expected.
Stand up!
Now stand up.
Stand up!
And now that you're standing closer, you can get a better look at his face, especially his eyes. Despite the nonchalance in his voice, you realize he's carefully studying you. Good, you didn't hit your head anywhere. For a second, you almost had me worried. You try to calm yourself, but your voice still comes out fast and frantic. Oscar, are you even listening to me? I'm serious. Look at Rudolph. And what about him? Wait, you stop mid-sentence as your eyes fall on Rudolph, realizing something horrifying. The pool of blood surrounding him is gone, as if it had evaporated into thin air, just like what happened at the cemetery and in the bathroom. Oscar, noticing your silence, crouches beside the man lying in the snow. Rudolph, I was almost sure his name was something ridiculous like Tristian. What the fuck? Shit, he's not dead. Wait, what? What is this shit? Oh, damn, he's alive. I thought you had finally decided to get rid of him and brought him to my estate to bury him. I cannot with Oscar. Your mind comes to a complete halt. You don't know what to think anymore. The only thing you're certain of is that Rudolph is your priority. Please stop joking and help me figure out what's wrong with him. Do I look like a doctor to you, darling? Okay, fuck you, man. Despite his exasperated tone, Oscar sets his rifle aside and checks Rudolph's pulse before turning him onto his side to examine him. It doesn't take long to realize that this man is not your butler. Oh, another white-haired man? How many white-haired men just be in the streets like this? Crazy. Your preferences truly leave me speechless, dear. What are you talking about? Right, you find your fiancé alone in the freezing woods, panicked with a collapsed man nearby, and you're just like, LMAO, what's wrong with you, baby? Sucks it's not Tristian. This man is on something. Looks like he's just passed out. Though, if he stays like this much longer, he'll freeze to death. Even though your mind is full of questions, Oscar's words bring a small relief in the middle of this wretched journey. You eagerly speak up. My carriage is nearby. We can carry him there. We? For a brief moment, the mockery in Oscar's eyes dim. My dear, may I remind you, I'm your fiancé, not your servant. You know what? I'm tired of you, sir. I'm alone in the woods, in the snow, on my way to see your ungrateful ass with a almost corpse. And I'm like, let's get him back to the carriage. And man's like, not my problem, fam. He said, fuck him. You must be confusing me with someone else. I swear. Let's step aside and let me do it. Bruh, move. Get out of the way. Your defiant tone makes his eyes glimmer, and soon enough you hear the amusement in his voice. Oh really? Please, go ahead, dear. I can't wait to see how you'll manage to carry him all on your own. Poor thing, already feel bad for him. I'ma beat your ass, Oscar. You should have known that a remark like this wouldn't faze him. Still, determined, you stand your ground, you ignore him, and kneel beside Rudolph. Leave him. I have no interest in dealing with two corpses in the middle of winter. Without another word, he retrieves the rifle he had placed on the ground and takes a few steps away from you. Oh, I thought he shot him for a second. Jesus. Soon the shadows surrounding you stir, followed by the sound of approaching voices. Did you get it, Oscar? Was it a big deer? Wanna see for yourself? It's lying right over there. Did you shoot a man, my lord? As the first shadow emerges into the moonlight, you recognize the man's face from the lavish parties you've attended. But now, in the forest gloom, he looks vastly different. His features are tense with urgency. Bloody hell. Did you shoot a man? Right. I need help getting rid of the body. What? The tense silence lasts only for a moment before Oscar's lips curl into that signature twisted smirk. You're too easy to fool, you know? It's not even fun anymore. As Oscar's hunting party reaches you, you finally learn where your missing coachman has been. One of the approaching figures steps forward, his outline illuminated by the lantern's glow, and you recognize him instantly. By the time we got the horses free, it was already too dark. Continuing on would have been too dangerous. When I heard the gunshot, I thought Lord Oscar might be out hunting. Since Rudolph wasn't familiar with Lord Oscar's men, I went to ask for help. He insisted he wouldn't leave your side. I can't understand how he could be so reckless. Since Rudolph remains unconscious, there's no way to get an answer. As you make your way back to the carriage, the glow of lanterns held by Oscar's men fails to reveal any traces of the red stains that had led you to Rudolph. Maybe we're psychic. Instead of easing your fear, this only makes it worse. If it was all in your head, then how did you manage to find Rudolph when there's not a single trace of him left behind? And why is the carriage door open? Did you forget to close it? Did the wind blow it open? Or had the shadow been here? Had it looked inside to find you? A fresh wave of fear rushes over you. Even now, you still feel like you're being watched. As long as you remain in the forest, you doubt you'll ever be free of that feeling. Even as a child, a single glance at the woods beyond your bedroom window had been enough to send chills down your spine. Now you vow to keep the curtains tightly shut on every future journey. Once inside the carriage, your gaze drifts to Rudolph, bundled up in thick blankets and fast asleep in the corner. And you can't help but recall that vivid crimson, still warm body or blood. From outside, you hear Oscar's deep voice carrying over the hushed whispers of his hunting party. Edgar, show the coachman the shortcut to our estate. Let the poor horses catch their breath. This little rescue mission has exhausted me. I'll be riding inside the carriage with my future spouse. Ooh. All right. I'm gonna put a pin in this right here. We're just gonna save. We are gonna come back to this later because this is way longer than I thought it was gonna be. But we spent a lot of time in the first half with our butler, and now it's time for me to spend time with my fiance. But yeah, we're gonna come back to this next time. All right, I hope you had fun watching The Winter Wedding. I am excited to play this again. I want to know what's going on. I don't know what the hell is happening. I want to spend more time with Oscar because I'm over Tristian, but I'm also over Oscar too. Man been on screen for 5 minutes and he's already insufferable. So we'll just see. We'll see. Thank you all for coming through. If you want to kick it with me away from Twitch, you can find me on my socials. I am most active on Blue Sky, Twitter, and sometimes I post on Instagram. And of course, my website, Blurty Old Tome. Definitely check that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. And I'll catch you next time. All right, y'all. See ya. Bye.